Today is January 24th, 2017. It's Tuesday, and it is my last few hours in St. Lucia. I have had an absolutely marvelous time. I decided to stay in an Airbnb on this trip, and I'm traveling by myself. And though alone, I have not found myself alone, because I've definitely been surrounded by some truly wonderful, very generous people, very kind people from all kinds of walks of life, all different parts of the world, and just incredibly giving and engaging people from various ideologies and various faiths and what have you. And it's only been 8 days, but I feel changed already from some of the experiences that I've had, and looking forward to more of this reinvention. I have spent some time in Martinique this week and some time exploring the island of St. Lucia and enjoying the island of St. Lucia and the people. And it's really been transformational, truly transformational. I was really depressed when I got here. I was really depressed, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to get out of it, But I made up my mind that I was going to approach this entire trip with a couple of principles that I hoped would lead me down a good path and, put me in good stead. And those things were that I purposed in my heart to not be a know-it-all American. I realized that there is a lot that I don't know about a lot of things. And rather than trying to go out and recreate what, had already served its purpose to get me to where I've been, I wanted fresh experiences. And, to have fresh experiences, you have to become fresh yourself, or at least be willing to become fresh yourself. So I made up in my mind that I was going to really approach this very open-mindedly, very open-heartedly, and just listen, to the people that I talked to and engaged with, and found out, what their perspectives were about life and about faith and about politics and about family and about marriage and about singlehood and, everything else that I can't think of that I'm need to know about, but, haven't quite crossed that bridge yet. And I have found that even implementing that one strategy has transformed this trip into something I couldn't have hoped for. I've met people from Toronto, I've met people from Boston, I've met people from Atlanta, I've met people from Ottawa, I've met people from St. Lucia, I met people from Guadeloupe, and people from Dominica, and people from Martinique, and just this amazing hodgepodge of humanity, that has its divisions, where divisions lay, but a community of people who are looking for where we meet up rather than looking for what divides us, And so that was one principle that I implemented in going into this. Another was that I was just going to let go and relax, and be my genuine and authentic self. I had a lot of, affirmations and confirmations come across my path before I embarked on this trip, that kept saying, just be yourself, And I found that even, following the passing away of the 3 important people in my life that have precipitated this excursion in the first place, my husband Jermaine, and my best friend and spiritual father Nathaniel, and my mom Carolyn, you start losing people that are close to you, and you stop caring so much about what people think about you, and you start living your life less and less and less for other people, and more for yourself. And I don't mean that in a selfish way, like I'm just going to live for myself, but I mean it from this perspective of life is short, and if you're going to enjoy it, then you should get busy about enjoying it. And the only way that I am finding that you can truly enjoy yourself is to truly be yourself. And so I made up in my mind to just be my authentic self and put on no airs, because I had no airs to give anybody. And, just be. And when I tell you the kinds of conversations that I've had this week, and the kind of connections and the genuine affection and love and sincere desire for continued friendship that I've enjoyed this week. I've made connections with about 6 people in 8 days that will probably end up being lifelong connections. And I am grateful. I came into this trip expectant and hopeful, yet extremely heavy and depressed. And I was hoping against hope and expecting against expectation. But I have found so far that my expectation has been more than met. My hope cup is overflowing. So I'm headed to the airport in just a little bit. I'm headed for Trinidad and Tobago, which is the next leg of this trip. I'll be there for 8 days and finding out what measure of healing that segment of the trip is designed to provide in helping me to find my glow again. I've already got a little sunshine glow. I've been out on that beach. I've been in that Caribbean Sea. But the spark is coming alive. The spark is coming alive. I am grateful to God because only He is able to work this kind of stuff out. So that's all for now. Take care. I love you guys, and I'm grateful to have you on this trip with me and this transformation into seeing what this new version is going to look like. All right. God bless. Talk soon.